right, guys, I got something new in from Custom Dynamics. We're going to install windshield trim right here with sequential lighting. I think that's going to look really good on this bike. We'll show you how easy it is to install, and let's get after it. First step, take off the turn signals. I'm sure that this will junction into those connections. So we're going to get those off, follow the instructions. Now, I don't know how well you'll be able to see it, but the next step is to remove this assembly. When you pull this off, there's a hole right there that the wiring comes through, and you have a plug right here that you push down on, and you squeeze back here at the same time, and she comes right loose. These are called JAE connectors. Really easy to take loose. The next step is to remove these 3 bolts, remove the windshield, and then put the center bolt back to hold the fairing in place while we remove the inner bolts. There's 4 bolts on the inner side of the fairing that will take loose as well. Now that we have all those bolts out, we're going to take this center bolt back out and take the fairing off. Now, the headlight comes with this, so that's why the blanket over the fender. Put it on the fender and unplug the headlight assembly. Carefully remove your fairing. Leave your wiring harness here hanging. So the next step is to put this little junction wire between the original turn signal wire and the turn signal housing. But I've actually already done that in the past because I have the Batwing LED insert that's also a turn signal. So what I'm going to actually do is unhook that wiring, put this one next to the turn signal housing, then put that wire into this before it goes back to the turn signal's original wiring. Hope that all makes sense. Here's my connector for the LED bat insert, and it goes into the original wiring. I'm going to disconnect it. Again, JE connectors, squeeze out here, push in with the thumbnail and pull down, comes right out. Now I'm going to leave this on the outside closest to the turn signal housing, and I'm going to put this one to the inside. So the little male, of course, goes into the female, and then this has a female. We will put this one's male into it, and then we'll run this female back outside for the turn signal housing. Now, an easy way for me to tell them apart is the one for the Batwing insert. Looks like it has some kind of resistor or load equalizer type soldered into the connection. Now, the next step is to connect the trim up and make sure it's blinking correctly. I'm not even going to mount it at this point. I'm just going to take it out of the wrap, lay it here across the fender, connect everything, turn the key on, and see if everything blinks that's connected. Okay, we've got the wiring ran up through here and plugged into the windshield trim. We're going to test it out now. So we'll turn the key to the run. There's our daytime running lights, and these things are really bright, which I like. Now let's try the right turn signal. There's sequential turn. Let's try the left turn signal, firecracker. And we have sequential turn over there as well. All right, now when we get this thing all hooked back up, we do have to do a BCM sync. I'm not going to tell you how to put it all back together. It's basically the opposite of how we took it apart. So I'm going to get busy doing that, and then we'll see how it looks when we're all done, and we'll do the BCM sync. Okay, now we're going to put those side turn signals back on and see how she all looks lit up. A lot of times after installing new LED lighting, it's necessary to perform a BCM sync. So on this bike, you turn the ignition on, turn the hazards on, turn the ignition off, and let them run for 3 to 4 minutes. And then you'll turn the ignition back on and turn the lights off. Through the power of editing, we'll be back in about 4 minutes. And we're back. Turn the ignition on, turn the hazards off, turn the ignition off. Everything should be synced now. Let's see how these babies look. Personally, I really like the sequential turns, and I really like how bright these new Genesis 4 lights are that Custom Dynamics is putting out. I'm thinking about upgrading these lights to the Genesis 4 as well because they're not quite as bright. These are the original lights I put on here 5 years ago from Custom Dynamics. They've worked great, but they're just, when I look at them, not quite as bright. And I think I'd like to have them matching and be just as bright as the Batwing trim and these new awesome looking sequential turn signals. Hey guys, I want to give a special thanks to the members on my channel. Without their support, I couldn't afford to do upgrades like this. This thing was not a sponsored video. I paid full price for these, which is about $250. I think they're great. I think they're worth it. I love them, but I just wanted you to know that they were not sponsored or discounted in any way. I paid for these out of my own pocket, and I really appreciate the members who signed up. If you're interested in becoming a member, it's anywhere from $1 to $3 a month. I don't want anybody spending a lot of money on it. It's just a way to say thank you for the videos and to support the channel and to be able to support me doing upgrades and things like this. And I hope you guys like this video. If you do, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. If you're into the YouTube content I'm putting out, don't forget the subscribe button and ring that bell. And we'll see you guys all in the next one. You stay safe and keep on riding.